Good afternoon, family, and welcome back to another episode of GodSpeed, where we provide you a weekly market overview for the Lexus LC500. Family, super excited about tonight's episode because this is video 2 of our 3-part video series doing a look back on 2023 for the 2018s, the 2021s, and the Inspiration Series. And tonight, family, we focus on the 2021 LC500 hardtop and the convertible. We're going to take a quick look at how these two models performed in Q1 through Q4 of last year. And then, family, we're going to jump into a bit of a look at how they are performing in the current market today. And we're going to talk a little bit about what my perspective is on what I think we're going to see prices for the 21 and the hardtop look like for at least Q1 and maybe a sneak peek into Q2. Okay, family, let's get into tonight's episode. But before we do, please take a moment, hit that like button for us, subscribe, let's go. All right, fam, let's get into this forecast, if you will. But let's start with a look back on how the 2021 Lexus hardtop performed for last year. So out the gate, fam, sorry, my voice is still not 100% back, so I appreciate you guys being patient with that. All right, let's look at Q1. So in Q1 of last year, we saw the price for a 2021, now remind you, this is the hardtops, okay? This one's got 19,000 miles. It is from the Lexus dealership. It's L certified, obviously. It's showing from Car Gurus that it was a great deal at that time, and the price was coming in at $84,996. So that's how we start out 2023 last year for the 2021 hardtop, okay? When we get into Q2, right, if you guys recall too, right, I mean, I've absolutely looked at my previous market reviews to try to extract this information. But like I mentioned on the first video, and if you hadn't had a chance to take a look at the first video, we'll have it tagged to the back end of this one. And that one covered the 2018s. But family, I'm trying to capture as best as I could from the data that we had, not knowing back then that we were going to be trying to do look backs, right? So I'm not saying that what I've got captured here for the quarter was the best price, the best opportunity available. But I think from my perspective and from my memory, right, having covered this LC500 for the last 3 years, and particularly with a greater deal of focus on last year, I think this pretty much captures at least the essence, right? The 80% of what we were seeing during each one of these quarters. So sorry for the rambling, but I just wanted to, make sure I put some parameters around this because, you guys are obviously were looking at the market last year as well. If something jumped out at you and you saw something at a price point lower than what I'm showing, you might be like, wait a minute, Tony, that's not the cheapest price possible. So saying that right out of the gate, this is not exhaustive, but I do think this covers, if we're looking at like an 80-20, I think what I'm reflecting in tonight's review absolutely covers 80% of what we were seeing last year without those 20% of outliers, okay? All right, so when we slide into Q2, family, so in that March time frame, what we see is a dramatic change. Okay, now I will say that this particular vehicle has a lot going for it, but it was also a reason why this one was very much the lowest price point. But you're gonna see the trends as we start to move forward here, right? So this one's got 41,000 miles on it, performance package coming from the Lexus dealership with the L certification, Carfax One owner, and we get this amazing $77,970. Now, that's darn near $7,500 cheaper than what we saw the quarter previous, right? And if you guys were following the channel last year, man, we was going crazy, right? Because we were seeing this amazing 21 option, not as affordable as the 18, but dang it, the prices were definitely coming down. And it's why all last year we said that the 21s were absolutely the market drivers for the best price, for the best opportunities on the market, right? Because you got a great year, a lot of good changes with some really steep discounts last year, okay? All right, now when we get into Q3, right? So we're coming out of August into that September time frame. Take a look at what's happening here. Now, this one is a 18,000 mile touring package. This one's not at the dealership. And we're getting a price point of $75,990. Still lower than the previous one. But if you notice, we got better mileage on this one. We got less of a package, if you will, but we still get a price reduction. And let's face it, I mean, that's where we were, right? We were in that low to mid 70s in Q3 for the hardtop 2021s. Now, in Q4 of last year, so we're actually in that December time frame. And family, I mean, we see another, bottom dropout, right? I mean, we see now this one is absolutely an outliner, right? Because there was absolutely more of the hard tops in this time frame coming in at that 70,000 price point. But this one was absolutely one of those 47,000 mile vehicles, performance package, had BC Forge wheels. Those are tremendous wheels. Had RSR coilovers on this thing. And this was coming in at $67,999. Now, the reality is that vehicle actually sold for like $64,000. Okay. That's how much we saw reduction in the 2021s in Q4 of last year. Okay. So let's look at the stats up top here real quick. So we start the year out at, at this $85,000 price point, right? We see a dip in Q2, which absolutely drives down the prices. And I apologize, guys, they're not as drastic visually as they probably should be right here. But we see about a $7,000 pullback in Q2 to start the summer out with some really sweet opportunities on the hardtop 2021. In Q3, we come back just a tad bit as well, right? But you only see a reduction of about $2,000 extra on those price points. And then, family, in Q4, we really see some opportunities that drop. And I'm just going to call it, we see high 60s to mid 70s for any of your hardtop opportunities, okay? All right, fam, let's take a look at the 2021 Lexus LC500 convertible, because this one's a slightly different story, okay? Now, we start the year 2023 with prices similar to the hardtops, actually, right? But let's focus on the convertibles here. $85,719 for this beautiful Lexus offered L certified black convertible with 25,000 miles. Okay. Now, not the lowest miles. I mean, that's obvious, right? But still not the crazy miles either, right? When we jump over into Q2, so we're in that March time frame, and we absolutely see pricing. I'm going to say it stays flat here, because if you look at it, the mileage goes down by about 5,000 miles. We're still at the Lexus dealership. We're still L certified. This one might be a little bit more sought after color because it's that liquid platinum with the red interior. And again, that's going to be preference, right? But you're still at that 86,000 price point. So it's about $1,000 in difference, not even a real full $1,000 difference right there. Okay. When we get into Q3, that's when we see, and for this one, family, Q3 obviously starts in September, but these pricing really started to happen in that late July, August time frame, right? And then, of course, we saw this carry forward into, Q3, right? So we got a 20,000 mile option. We've got a Carfax one owner. This one's not at the Lexus dealership, but it's at a dealership, okay? And you're coming in at $74,990. Now, that's almost a $10,000 difference from what we were seeing in Q2. Now, if you guys recall, it was a Skittle summer for the convertibles, because I was out here like, my gosh, my stance went from, I don't know if I want to pay a $20,000 premium from an 18, a really good option 18, to have to get all the way up to 21 to pick up a convertible. We were seeing, $20,000 differences. But fam, when you jump down in the $75,000 price point, and that's how we were getting these guys, right? Call it a Skittle summer, because it didn't matter what color you wanted. White with red, silver with red, black with toasted caramel, whatever your liking was. In Q3 of this year, you could have picked up a beautiful option from the Lexus dealership, certified. You had your flavor if you wanted aftermarket kits on them, if you wanted aftermarket wheels on them, if you wanted suspension on them. Man, we got every option we possibly wanted this summer. And these bad boys were hovering in that mid 70s to high 70 price point. Okay. Now we come out of Q3 and into Q4. So we start in our October, November, and December conversations. And you guys recall, if you've been following the channel, right? I started to notice that, listen, I'm not saying that the prices are going crazy up, but I noticed that the trend for these convertibles going lower and lower every quarter was absolutely not the case in Q4. Okay, we see right here, we got a 35,000 mileage option. It's at the Lexus dealership. It's certified. It's got it's coming in at $77,569. Okay, I think this is if you look at what we were seeing in Q2, right? We've got something that's definitely got more miles on it. Okay, still, but still coming back up and costing you a premium to pick it up. Okay, so let's look at the stats sheet here for a second. Okay, now we start the year off, right? $85,000. Then in Q2 we go up just a tad bit, right? Or we stay flat, however you want to look at it, right? But then in Q3 the bottom drops out. And it drops out big, right? We almost see a $9,000 reduction, not in flood vehicles, in lemons. No, these were in absolute valid options from the Lexus dealership. Okay. And then in Q4, family, not a dramatic change, but we absolutely see the wind shift. And instead of pushing these things lower, we saw some resistance, and these LC500 convertibles started to swing back up. Okay. All right, fam, that is our look back into 2023 on how both of these particular hardtop and convertible opportunities fared. Now, let's take a look, right, at February 20th, 2024, real-time pricing, and let's see if we can see a bit more of the story and determine what we can anticipate for the rest of Q1 and maybe Q2 of 2024. Let's get into these 2021s for Q1 of 2024. All right, I'm going to skip these over here. I've already got this sorted in our lowest price possible. So, family, as we jump into the hard top, right, the very lowest price we've got on the market for this week is coming in at $72,977. Now, this is a beautiful offering, right? Let me look at the deets real quick. 14,000 miles, infrared, black interior. This one looks to be one accident reported, 4 previous owners. So, probably not, based on the specs, right? Probably not the most, sought after option right now. Now, this is a performance package, so that's absolutely a plus, but probably not the most sought after package just because we got one accident and we have got 4 owners, right? But let's look and see what else comes up. Now, for the convertible, I think we've got a no-brainer here, right? I don't know that you can get a better opportunity than this right here. Maybe this is not your color palette that you're looking for, but if we're just looking at the specs, right, we've got a convertible coming in with 16,000 miles, ultra white exterior. We've got the black interior on this one. Let's see what else is on this guy. This one's got one accident reported too, but it's a previous owner. And of course it's L certified. And we've got this coming in at $73,485, right? So again, I see a little bit of that work right there on that bottom piece there. I'm pretty sure Lexus is going to fix that up. You guys know that they'll get the pictures out here because they want to start marketing the vehicle, and then they'll get this thing into touch up and make sure everything's back to what it should be. So, both of these first price points are probably not like the best numbers to look at. But what I will say is that the lowest option you can get right now on the market is almost $73,000. If we remember what we talked about leaving Q4 for the hard tops, family, we saw a $67,000 opportunity, but that one had much higher miles on it. So let's just say we were seeing opportunities that probably in the 70, low 70s in Q4 for this. And, in all honesty, this is not the best example of how prices are ticking up. I think we're going to see that when we get to something that's a little bit more stronger. But this absolutely shows us that, you know what, that arrow is going in a different direction in Q1. It's and that arrow is going back up. Okay. All right. When we look at real quick, right, just assessment of the cheapest one you can get. Now, this one's got one accident on it, but it's got the mileage, right, that you want. It's got the price point that you want. When you look at last year, we left the year with about a $77,000 on the convertibles, right? So this showcases a little bit of downwardness in the actual convertibles. Okay, so let's keep going here, right? See if we can't understand a bit more of the picture. Now we jump into this beautiful, my gosh, this thing is gorgeous. I mean, I don't know if they just got great lighting in there, or if they did like ceramic coating, so it's got it shining, if they just waxed it, but that thing looks beautiful. Ultra white. We got the black convertible top. We got that circuit red interior, which just looks immaculate. 29,000 miles on this guy. Let's look at what the other stuff is. This one's at Jaguar Land Rover. Now, interestingly enough, it's showing no history information right there. So obviously, if you guys looking at this thing, make sure you absolutely get the full Carfax from the dealership. But unfortunately, for our purposes, I can't tell you how great of a deal this is just because we don't know if it's got any accidents on it. Okay. But it is at that, it does jump our lowest price convertible up into the mid 70s, right? Okay, now we've got looks like this one's at the dealership. Looks like this is Land Rover too. Man, last week it was BMW swooping up all the LC500s. Oh, this was Porsche. Okay. All right. This one's got 11,000 miles on it. Is this a performance package? Yep. I see the carbon fiber right there. Performance package, right? So this thing is saying all the goodness. No accidents, 2 previous owners, low miles, 11,000, $75,000. The only thing that you could do better on this right here is if it was certified, right? Because that would probably drop you at least give you $2,000 worth of free maintenance, right? And that would drop this thing down to more like 73,000. But this is a heavy hitter. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity. And what I like about this one is it's a real opportunity compared to that last real opportunity we saw in Q4. And, I'm a little bit wrong, right? It looks like the convertibles, at least the lowest entry point is the cheapest. But I think if we keep looking, we're going to see a little bit different story unravel here in just a few moments, right? Another hardtop right here. We talked about that one. Here's another convertible. This one's got more miles on it, coming in at 50,000. That's absolutely a lot of miles for a convertible, especially when you start to see what else we got on the marketplace, right? Now, this is a great opportunity right here. 21 with 21,000 miles on it, coming in at $75,000. It's certified pre-owned. Let me see what we got on the deets. Yeah, 0 accidents, 2 previous owners. I'm loving that. I mean, that's a solid deal for somebody, right? So we're ticking up a little bit, right? Here's another one, 20,000 miles. We're right at that $76,000 price point, and more right here. Goodness gracious. Look at this job, guys. Loving this. All we need is a little stripe up here in the front for Knight Rider. Love the what they've done on here. They blacked out everything, even the emblem they tinted, right? Tinted windows. This one's certified. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful offering right here. So if you're looking for a smoky granite mica with the circuit red interior, got the red calipers to kick that flare out when you got the top down. Yeah, baby. I'm liking that. Coming in at $75,995. Guys, we got another beautiful offering right here with lower miles, right? 27,000 miles. This one bumps you up to $76,000. Got another hardtop. This one's a touring package, right? 9,000 miles. That's tremendous on the mileage price point, right? Up at $76,000. Now listen, family, no questions asked. I'm pretty sure you guys see the trend on the hardtops, right? Hardtops are going back up in price. Okay. This $76,000 stuff, I mean, come on, we weren't seeing that. I think we were in what, Q2 or Q3 is when we saw that big drop. And so now we're starting to see these prices drop back up. Okay. Now let's look at another one. Now this is a tremendous one right here. Let's take a moment on this one because we've got a beautiful package here, right? 10,000 miles on a 21 convertible. certified. Any accidents? No accidents. 2 previous owners. Says it was a fleet vehicle, right? But it's certified, coming in at $76,000. I mean, I think that's a tremendous opportunity. I don't know what the fleet stuff is, guys. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know how that impacts, right, the value of this particular vehicle. More convertibles here. I mean, let's face it, right? We're seeing the convertibles come back up into that higher mid 70 price point, and I think that's the trend that I'm trying to call out, or that I've been seeing over the last several weeks, right? Is that now we are absolutely seeing some outlining opportunities at 75,000, which is about $2,000 cheaper than what we were seeing last quarter. But when we look at the 80%, right, or the majority of convertible opportunities, they're actually showing us to be in the, the higher 70s. And what I think we're going to see here is we're going to see those bad boys go all the way up to the mid 80s. Okay. All right. I'm not going to go into every single one of these opportunities, but we're doing a look back tonight, and we're also doing a look forward or forecasting. So if you're looking for a convertible, I want you to be able to at least be like, oh, I need to take a closer look at that one. So guys, we got 4 pages, but really it's 3 pages of what's going to be for us to review tonight. Right now, here we are already in the 80s. So we had 1 page worth of $75,000 to $80,000 convertible and hardtop opportunities. And now we're about to look at it. We're on page 2. And so we're already in the 80s. Okay. So here's a 21 option. Again, great low miles. This one's not at the Lexus dealership, so it's not certified, but it's $80,000. Okay. This one right here looks to be, probably at either a broker or at a Ford or Dodge dealership, whatever that truck is in the background. I can't make it out. But again, here we are in our 80s. We got a great looking hardtop right here, 11,000 miles certified, 79,600 for that guy. Man, got that gorgeous. Look at that. That is not black. That is our, what is this? What's that purple color? Man, I failed my Lexus test. But this is definitely Nightfall Mica. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay, this is that Nightfall Mica. I think that's the color. But this is the Nightfall Mica, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's that dark, but it's got a little bit of purple, almost looks like pearl in it, right? You got this gorgeous circuit red interior. This is absolutely a hard top. We got 11,000 miles on this baby. Not giving us history on it, so I can't sit up here and go all in and be like it's a one owner vehicle. If you're looking at this, make sure you look at the Carfax. Who's that? Okay, it's CarMax. So they definitely got the Carfax. But what we can tell is that this one is the performance package, right? We see the retractable roof right there. So we got the carbon fiber carbon fiber top, got the carbon fiber seals. This one's got remember family, by 2021, you didn't have to take this thing to some shop and get it black powder coated, right? Lexus was already providing that as an option on some of these vehicles. So this one more than likely 100% blacked out from the dealership on the wheels. Okay. It's saying high prices already, right? I wonder why. I think it's because these are much higher prices than we were seeing in Q4 for these opportunities, because let's face it, I mean, we're about to look at just more and more vehicles that are going to be a lot more expensive with a lot more miles on it than this guy. Okay. All right. We got a gorgeous 20,000 mile hardtop right here. Again, does not look to be from the dealership, but definitely from a luxury high-end broker right there. Here's some more where we literally creep into the 80,000 price point. Man. Really nice liquid platinum with the circuit red interior. That guy, 4,000 miles on it. That's practically brand new. Who's offering this? One accident. Ugh. Coming from Porsche. Okay. Don't like the one accident, especially at that high price point. But you guys know, just like as I do, right? I mean, sometimes the way people drive today, sometimes it's just impossible to find a car that doesn't have at least some kind of dent on it, or I won't say dent, right? Because I don't think we should be paying for cars that have clear, obvious damage at this price point. But let's be transparent here for a moment. You guys know just as well as I do that there's gonna be some of these cars on the market that show a clean Carfax with no damage, and you know they've probably been in a slight fender bender, some of them, right? Because man, people just don't know how to drive today. But get back to the back to the cars here, and less of my commentary on how people drive. But we got a beautiful certified pre-owned option right here, 81,000, 7,000 miles. Now that one is, yeah, let's see if it's got any accidents or damage. Nope, 2 previous owners. Man, that's crazy miles, right? I mean, when you think about right now, if you go into the dealership, pick you up one of these, you're at about $115. And you know, right here, you're saving yourself like $35,000 if you like the silver on black with the black top, right? 7,000 miles. I mean, she's still brand new in my books, right? What else we got here? All right, getting out of second page, getting into the third page. Another hard top here, ridiculous miles. Come on, man. That's Lexus certified, 2000 right now, a brand new one. Again, I know the 24s have different updates that drive value. Some of them do. Some of them people would have rather, they left alone, but we can't refuse that this thing is absolutely $25,000 to $30,000 cheaper than you'd get a 24 with 2,000 miles on it, and it's certified. That's crazy. Here's another convertible, $82,000, 6,000 miles certified, right? Another 10,000 miles certified option at 82. Okay. More I mean, now here is the trend when we talk about trends, right? Look at all these 2021 convertibles that are hitting the market with ridiculous low miles. I mean, if the prices are a little bit higher for these convertibles, but if you're more driven by the mileage, right, and how much your vehicle has seen the road, man, there's some tremendous opportunities out here, and you're still saving money, right? You're still saving money. So, okay, now look right here, we just crossed over the 85,000 price point, right? So look, we've got a 21 certified, 4,000 miles. I mean, they're saying fair deal on that one, and I'm pretty sure because it's ridiculous low miles and it's certified pre-owned. Here's another one with 10,000 miles on it for $87,000. I think the piece that I'm calling out right here is that these are certified Lexus offered LC500 convertibles at these price points. And family, we are over $85,000. Okay. Now this is the high end. This is the outliers on the other side of the spectrum, right? So we see opportunities from $75,000 to $90,000. But where I think it's safe to say the majority of our convertibles is I think it's safe to say they're between $75,000 and $85,000. And that, my friend, is absolutely a trend back up in pricing for the convertibles. When we talk about the hard tops, right? I say we're looking at hard top options, interestingly enough, about the same, right? And we know that the hard tops were really, really going south. So I think the hard tops have really made a pullback because they're more back in alignment with the convertibles. And I'm going to say that if you want an amazing opportunity on a hard top 21 right now, you're also in that 75 to 85 price point. They are going to be outliers that are going to get you in the low 70s, and they're going to be outliers on the other end that are going to get you into the high 80s. Okay. So now when we look at the rest of these family, they're just the, they're the inspiration series, and we'll cover inspiration series next week. But family, let me know what you guys think, right? I mean, I think the game plan here was to get a little bit out of my own personal feelings on this, but to present to you kind of what I'm seeing, right? And then, I love you guys' feedbacks. I love your perspective and point of view. That's why this is a community and not just, my show or my channel, right? This is our community. And so hopefully what I was able to do today is at least kind of give some merit to what my thought process is on when I say that 21s are absolutely going back up in price on both the hardtop options as well as the convertible. Something that I learned even myself from the review today is that what you are getting for those higher prices is you're absolutely getting some of the lowest convertibles that I've seen in a long time. So the guys and gals who have sold their 21s to make them available for us to pick up today, they definitely babied those cars from a mileage perspective. Okay. All right, family, that is the episode for this week. I'm excited about next week because we're going to come back and take a look at the inspiration series, right? Because that's an exciting segment and an exciting story to look back at and to tell for 2024. If this is your first video with GodSpeed, definitely head over to the full channel where we have weekly market reviews, aftermarket showcases for products for our car, and our LC500 pick or video of the week. Family, have a tremendous evening. Love you all. Godspeed.